everybody. How are you? Thursday night. We're back to Thursday nights. I don't know. We're going to give everyone a minute to log in and say hi, but tonight we've got a bit of a chat with Benny Allen, and you can already see the link for his new single in the comments. So just while you've got a second and we're waiting for him to log in, you can click on that and pre-order ready for tomorrow. Let us know what you've been up to this week. Any live gigs, anything fun that you've done, let us know. Put it in the comments and let us know. Well, we might welcome Benny into the room, and we're going to get Benny this time, not make a mistake and get the wrong person. Hi.
Hey.
We got him. For those that didn't get to tune in on Monday, we had an issue with the programming last week and we brought the wrong person into the room. Oh,
That's the problem when you got cameras all through the house. See, that's the issue. You can just bring anyone in at any time. It's like an episode of one of the reality shows. Yes,
Big Brother. That's what Country Kickback is. Oh, how are you stuck at home, Benny? You're there in Victoria. Are you in the lockdown areas?
Yeah, so we got the full stage 4 lockdown still where I am. I'm in the outskirts of Melbourne, but not far enough in the outskirts that we fall into the stage 3 restriction. So the whole of Victoria's got stage 3, but yeah, we're stage 4. So you're not supposed to leave the house for many reasons at all, which is fun. But we get there.
You're not crazy yet, or crazier.
Look, I said to someone earlier today, instead of focusing on what I can't do, I've been focusing on what I can do. And do the things that you can do while we're in lockdown. So from a music point of view, obviously I can't get on the road or anything like that, but I can write songs, I can play, I can talk to good people like yourself. And so
I paid him to do
that. We can say hi to Kaz Johnson, who's popped up in the comments.
You can see that. He's so good. Hi, Kaz. Thank you for joining. Well, you've been fairly busy in the last few days because on Friday night you had a double single launch, and you did something that I haven't seen done actually a lot throughout COVID. And you could buy tickets and we could watch on YouTube. Tell us, where did you come up with the plan to do it the way you did? It was great.
Oh, thank you, mate. Look, I was just thinking about, we'll go back a step. As you know, at the start of this whole COVID experience and lockdowns and things, I went and did my virtual brewery tours and the virtual tasting tours, and I play some songs each night and have a beer and all that sort of thing. And so many people are doing that sort of thing. It's great that music's being put out into the world, but the thing I got really thinking about is how much it's, in some ways, it's devaluing what some of the musos do and what we do when we put things out, particularly if guys that are going and doing a full hour and a half, 2-hour show. Doing a song here, a song there as part of your branding and your promotion, I think is a great idea and a great way to use the internet. But so much of what we do is devalued anyway. It's devalued by Spotify and by the streaming things that don't pay enough. I just thought we're starting to go down the same path with the live events. And look, it wasn't so much to do with me trying to make a shed load of money or anything like that. It was more just trying to go, look, I think this is the right thing to do. When we see people perform and play music, we should be paying for the privilege. We should be thanking them with our dollars, because at the end of the day, that yourself, the people that we're dealing with and we're talking about are professional musos, and this is how they are supposed to make their money. And if we devalue it too much by giving it away for free all the time. So that's sort of where I got the idea of going, you know what, I want to do a ticketed show, even though I can't leave the house. And so I got onto Jay Sini and had a few chats with him just in terms of some of the technology with video stuff and streaming, because I knew he'd done a few events from his place that were, really schmick. He's got some really good cameras, of course. But I had a quick chat with Jay about a few things, and then just went down the path of putting it together and getting the studio stuff set up so I could do it, really put it together as a bit of a show as much as I could. And just do something a little bit different, but wanting to make sure that I was going to have some really good quality sound is the big part of it, because that was the big concern and the big thing when we do some stuff into our iPhones and stuff like that. Of course, there's a sacrifice that's made. So no, it's all good. And Kaz didn't mind paying it all. Thank you, Kaz. I do appreciate it, mate.
I think it's great for us to be able to pay, and you're not paying as much as you would if you're going to a live show. It's really just that little bit. It shows your appreciation, and it, as you said, it puts the value back into music to show what we think of it. So I think it's wonderful.
No, I thought so as well.
Well, I was there Friday night for some of it. It was, for me, it was late. I don't know how I'm going to survive.
It's late for me.
I don't know how I'm going to survive when we go back to gigs at normal time. We're going to have to bring them forward a bit, because I can't handle that late at night anymore.
Yeah, no, I've got much the same problem. Like I'm tradesman at the end of the day, so I'm used to getting up at an early time of day, and but finishing up at 9:30, it was like I was an old man getting ready for bed.
It's not New Year's Eve, isn't it? Midnight now. Oh, we're going to get out of COVID, and none of us are going to be able to cope. Next festival, we're going to really struggle.
No, we're not going to have the match fitness.
No. That's for sure. We're going to have to start practicing soon, because we're not that, we'll get out eventually. We need to start stretching ourselves. Now, I saw a little something walking in the background a minute ago that I don't know if he's come back, but I also see him on your hat. So we might talk about that while everyone's probably just seen him walking out. You've got some merchandise that you're wearing, and tell us about the dog on it, because he's there. I saw him.
The old dog caps, yes, with the bulldog imagery, because of young Gus over there. He's not an old dog yet. Oh, there we go. I love it. And so he didn't really want to settle in just yet. So his bed's over here behind me. So sometimes he comes and sits down here while I'm doing these things, and sometimes he wanders. So at the moment, he's still wandering.
I saw him wandering out there, and I thought, I bet everybody else did too. No, he's beautiful. Gus is beautiful, and I love that you've incorporated Gus into your merch. I think that is so fantastic.
Well, I want to incorporate him into the travelling roadshow when we finally get to do it as well. Not Tamworth, because I don't think you'll get to take him home. A little bit hot in Tamworth is come January. So.
Yes. No, but Tassie's not hot, so you can bring him down here. That's fine.
Oh, let's do it.
Now, I know that you had a double single launch on Friday, but the single that we really want to talk about tonight is Lady Luck and Me. It's coming out tomorrow. Tell us a bit about it's a great song, and it's a very different song to what you've just released. So tell us a little bit about how it came about.
Look, I was driving back from Sydney, would have been last year, after doing the Never Knew I Was Country video clip. I'd been up there to shoot that with Jay, and was heading back to Melbourne, and I was just thinking, how lucky am I that I get to do this, that I get to hang out with these really uber talented people, that I get to make music and do things that I really enjoy. And so I was just thinking about how happy I was coming back and how lucky I am, and that's where sort of the idea of it started, and of just going, I just want that. And that's really what the song turned into. It turned into this this real song of joy. That's what I really see it as. It's just a happy song, and sometimes I got really deep and meaningful stories that go behind some of my songs, as you know. This one, it was just I was happy. Let's write a song about being happy, and I thought now's a great time to be putting out a song that's just a happy song.
It's a happy song. it's got that happy vibe in it. It's fantastic. I love it. But it is a song that makes you want to, get right into a show. It'd be a great song to play live.
Oh, it would, particularly with some really good bluegrass players. So it's contemporary bluegrass. It's upbeat and all that sort of thing. So like you say, it's a different sound to some of the other stuff I've done. And I think for me, the big thing is I don't want to be. I write songs because I feel like writing that song at that time. So if something pops into me and I write that song, and the style of it, things lend themselves, or if that's just how I've imagined it at the time. And so that's why, like obviously there's quite a bit of alt country Americana that comes out of me. And I think that's just going back to my earlier influences. But in terms of, if I write a bush ballad or if I write some bluegrass or that sort of thing, then I think, the best thing to do is record it in that way because it does justice to the song. Lady Luck and Me was initially a bit slower, mainly because I can't wail on the guitar quite as well as some other people can. But not long after starting to play it, it was a bit more of a bluegrass ballad when I first did it, but I knew it was bluegrass, and I started doing that thing where you thump on the side of the guitar and just going, hang on, I can visualize this. I knew what I sort of wanted it to be. And once I got chatting with Michael Carpenter about it, look, we recorded this at the same time that we were doing the Battle of Point Nepean. So it was while we were in the first lockdown and we were doing everything remotely again, him up in Sydney, me down here in Melbourne. And I sent him both demos at the same time. And I said, look, I want Point Nepean to come out first. So we need to finish that one, but I'm happy to work on both at the same time. No, we finished Lady Luck and Me first because I think he just got so excited about what it was and how good it was starting to sound, and that he could visualize what we were doing with it as well. That was knocked over very, very quickly. And it was just such a fun process to do it.
It sounds like it was. And it must feel great when you're working with somebody and they're starting to feel how obviously you were feeling at the time, that enjoyment as you're putting it together. That must feel really good.
Yeah, it's been one of the best things that I've enjoyed about working with Michael Carpenter is that we've got a lot of synergies in terms of, I think, our musical backgrounds and that sort of thing. And then once we start, spitballing ideas of how something could go, we both really get into it, and it just becomes it's not work. Like I say sometimes that it's great to be working with these sort of people, but it's not actually work. It's just a lot of fun.
No, it's fun, and as we said last time, I think we had you on the show. You'd adapted even during COVID. It didn't stop you from making this, so it's just been a whole different world, different type of fun as well.
Well, that's it. Like I said at the start of the thing, that's really what I've tried to do through this period is not focus on what I can't do. Let's look at what I can do and let's do the stuff that we can do, and we'll get to the other stuff later.
Yeah. Now, have you got more music coming out after this song for the rest of the year, or is this the last one that we'll see this year?
This will probably be the last one for this year. Still got things we're working on. The aim is to try and put an album together for next year sometime, but it's just the material's there. Never stop writing and all that sort of thing, which is always a good part of it. But it's just getting the logistics to work in terms of time and money and all that sort of thing that you need to put into not only recording the songs but then doing justice to it when it goes out into the world. But next year sometime the aim would be to not only put out some extra singles, some extra songs, but to put out a full album.
An album, and I can't wait because this album is going to be such a journey. All the songs that you've had so far, it's just such a great journey. So it's very exciting.
It's funny when you talk about it being a journey. That was sort of the concept I had for the album to start with. It's since evolved and it's not going to be like this. But as you know, the first single was Places I've Never Been. We've just done Battle of Point Nepean, Lady Luck and Me, which is about traveling. So I was thinking I could have this whole traveling theme for the album, and because I've got quite a few other songs that have been influenced by places I've gone to and things I've seen and all that sort of stuff. And it's, as I said, the concept that I've got has evolved a bit since then. But no, there's definitely quite a few songs about traveling and the journeys I've been on.
Yeah, see, that's what I love. It's True. It's about places, and it makes people want to go to those places when we can.
Yes.
It's going to be very exciting. Now, is there going to be a second round of the beer touring? Because I think that is the best excuse to have a beer every night. You don't feel bad at all when you're doing it for a reason.
No. Look, the virtual brewery tour. I was hoping by now to actually be doing a real one, but and look, at the start of the year when I was doing it, I didn't have anything else going out into the world, so it made sense to be doing something. So that's why I put that sort of together in as an event. But since then we've done the Point Nepean release, and all the things that go with that, and now doing the Lady Luck one. Look, there is every chance that by the end of the year I may sit there and go, you know what, let's revisit that again. But I also didn't want to be doing the same thing every night and have people potentially get bored of spending the night with me.
You might have to switch to wine. You've gone beer, you might have to switch.
Get a nice bottle of Drayton's or something and sit there and sip that while I play the piano.
Exactly, I agree. Oh dear. Now, what's your plans? Obviously, you've done your release, and you've done some, as you said, you've done the brewery touring, and you've done some free lives, and you've done some paid lives. Have you got plans for another live, where we're ticketed live before the end of the year?
Look, I haven't got anything planned at the moment, but there is every chance that I'll do it, particularly if the demand's there and people would like to do that. I think the first one was a great success, so I was really happy with it, and the feedback I've got from most people has been that it was a really good thing. As I said, I just hadn't put too much thought into it because I sort of went. It evolved as doing that ticketed event as part of the support for doing the release of Lady Luck and Me, and now I'm sort of into the rest of it, and it's just we'll see where we go to, where I'm up to when I next get up to things. I don't overthink it. I just do stuff.
That's the good thing about you, Benny, is you're so creative. Like as you said, you've used this time to learn to what you can create, but your things are very different. Like it's really good fun, and I like the fact that you never know what you're going to get. We've just had Rob pop into the room. Beck got there for me. I didn't think she'd seen it. Rob is actually watching from YouTube. So he's popped in. He said, I don't know if you can see the YouTube comments, Benny, but it's, hey Danny, hey Benny, nice songs, and he's been voting for them online and been asking for ABC to play them.
You are a dead set legend, Rob.
That is fantastic. So there's a couple of other comments there, but I think it's people chatting between themselves, which is great.
I love it when you're doing these sort of events and there starts these little dialogue going on in the. It's just the whole sense of community that we've all got. It's just it reflects it so well, and everyone just wants to catch up and say good day.
Yeah. Well, actually, when you were doing your live last week, it was so good. Like people were chatting in the comments, and I was talking to people as well, and it didn't. When you close your eyes and you listen to the music, it didn't feel like you were. You sort of still had that vibe inside you that you were at a concert. Like you knew it was different, but you still had that connection. It was great. It's great fun.
Yeah, and look, that's something that I'm with any of those lives that I do. I really try and make sure that I can see that comments feed, and that I can talk to people and interact with them and say hello, because that's what it's all about. It's connecting with people. That's what the music's about, and that's also what when we do live performances, it's not just a case of me playing at people. It's a case of trying to connect with people in the audience and talk to them and say hello.
Yes, exactly. Have you had the chance to play Lady Luck and Me live before we went into lockdown? Had you played that song?
I've played it at a couple of things. Definitely down here. The beforehand. I'd probably played it up at Tamworth this year. I'm not 100% sure though. I'd have to go back and check set lists and things as to what I played.
The only reason I asked, I was just sort of like, did you, the comments and the vibe that you got when you played it, would just be interesting to hear what people are thinking, but it's hard at the moment because you don't get the opportunity to go out there and just keep playing. So
look, the feedback I've had is like most people hadn't heard the up-tempo version that we've gone and released. It was more that ballady version. And yeah, there's still a lot of people, thinking that it was a lovely song and that, well, I think beautiful song is a word that was used at one stage. And, that's just where I sort of went, yep, that's a good one. This is going to be good. And I don't mind that I play it live differently at the moment. When it's just me, I'll play it differently to the recorded version. If I get the chance to work with some really good bluegrass players live, then yeah, we're definitely going to do that because man, it's just going to be so much fun.
100%. I love the fact that you can do the two versions. I think that's fantastic in itself.
Look, I think that's a big part of any songwriting. If you write a good song, it can probably be recorded in probably half a dozen different ways. That it's a good song is a good song, and the way you record it and the style that you go with, really doesn't take away from that part of it. It's just allows you to just connect with people that like maybe that style of music, but people that just appreciate music will sit there and like it regardless.
Yes, exactly. I agree. And I think that's what what you see when you do the smaller songwriting shows where you often play with another artist and you talk about it. You can see the people and how they relate to that. We've got Rob has just popped in again, and he said interacting with the audience makes it fun. And would you play around the Roma area one day? Have you played up there yet?
No. This was supposed to be my big year on the road. This was heading to places I've never been, which include places like Roma, and didn't really get the chance to do that. As you know, once we got back from Tamworth this year, it all started getting very real.
I know.
And, haven't had the chance yet, but no, it's definitely going on the list, Rob. Once we get the chance of getting out, we'll definitely head up that way.
I think we're going to have to re-release the single places I've never been, so that we can get you out on the road again and get this moving.
Oh, look, I don't have an issue if Tourism Australia want to pick it up as their anthem for their next advertising campaign. That'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I think anyone that's listening now that's in just put that out to them. But yes, Roma sounds like a good place. Roma has a lot of music things coming up over the time I've heard of, so that's fantastic to see country music in Australia getting out there. And Kaz has popped in and said the irony of releasing the song and not being able to travel with it.
It hasn't been missed on me, Kaz, and it was much the same when I released the Battle of Point Nepean.
Yeah.
As a song about quarantine, and that I wasn't able to head down to Point Nepean, which is only about maybe 20-30K from where I live.
Oh, really?
Because it was outside the 5K radius. You can't go down there and shoot a video clip because the park's closed and all that sort of thing. So I'd still like to do that at some stage. I know we're talking about Lady Luck and Me tonight, but yeah, I definitely want to still head down there and shoot some sort of a video clip for the Battle of Point Nepean, just because it's such a beautiful part of the world. And I think that's, an important part of what I was trying to do with these sort of songs is, you do songs about traveling, you want to showcase what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Teach people what we have in our own backyard. And especially when we do get out of this lockdown, it's going to be even better because we can't really go overseas. So you're pointing out some of these amazing places that we can go and visit in our own backyard.
I think domestic tourism, going to be able to go very strongly once we can get out of this.
So we'll be able to follow Benny around, everybody. Follow him around, see where he's off to. And I know, as you said, we're talking about Lady Luck and Me, but I think it's important to remember that we can request all of your songs at the moment on radio and keep them playing and keep them going. So it doesn't have to always be the one we're talking about. Any of your songs they can request away and keep them playing while we're stuck here. We may as well have good music to listen to.
That's it. And look, that's the other important thing. Right now, Lady Luck and Me is my favourite. And I don't know if that's because I'm about to release it or what the case is, but everyone's allowed to have their own favourite. So if there's a song of mine that they like, please let me know about it. And not just so that if I know you and I know that you're at one of my shows, I'll play the songs you like. But then it also just means that the radio is going to play the songs that you want. So you got to talk to them.
Yeah. And Kaz said, true, Benny, maybe you should release a song about COVID ending. Maybe that would work. I think if that would work.
Oh, look, I don't know. I reckon there's probably going to be about 480 songs about COVID coming out at some stage.
The albums, the 2021 albums that we're going to hear, completely different.
No, that's it. I don't know how upbeat they're all going to be, but yeah, we'll find out.
And Sandy Allen has just popped in as well and waved to say hi.
Mom.
Hey, do you live nearby?
No, she's in a different part of Australia, so we don't get to see each other very often. So it's usually at these sort of events.
Now, tell us before we wind everything up, where can we get your albums from? Have you got any in home? I know you probably can't post them as easy, but have you got some available? And where can we get it?
We can still post things. That's all right. But yeah, so there's still the Never Knew I Was Country album is still available. So both CD and vinyl. We've still got a little bit of the vinyl left in stock. But yes, CDs. I ran off a truckload of those. So we're right for Never Knew I Was Country CDs. And yeah, look, if anyone wants any of that or any of the merch, the old dog caps and things like that, head to my website, bennyallen.rocks. Or the other thing that's always really cool is you can just Google Benny Allen and I pop up at the top of it. It's a very, very strange feeling. When I started off doing this, you'd put in Benny Allen and you'd get, I think there was a minister from the Papua New Guinea government that would pop up. And then there was also, I think, a triathlete or something like that over in America that would pop up. But I blow them all out of the water now. Pages and pages of Benny Allen.
I love that. Chris said, Benny, you could get to Point Nepean by boat. It's getting to the boat. That'd be more than 5 Ks to get to the boat.
I can't get to Point Nepean by boat from the Dandenongs, though, Bruce.
Not yet. No,
that's it. I've got to wait until my helicopter comes in, then I'll be right.
Is that what we can hear in the distance?
Yeah, that's it.
So before we head off, guys, remember, jump over, or at the top of the comments, there's the link to Benny's single, Lady Luck and Me. If you click on that when we finish up, you can pre-order because it's out tomorrow, so you don't have to wait all that long to hear it. And if you haven't already, which I think probably most of you have, jump over and like Benny's page on Facebook, and you're on Instagram as well, aren't you, Benny?
Yep, Facebook and Instagram, and over on YouTube as well. So if Rob that's on YouTube wants to go hunting after this, he can find me on YouTube and like and subscribe. I think that's the right terminology, isn't it?
You've got to subscribe. YouTube is a hard one to crack.
Yeah, that's it. No, look, I appreciate all your support, Danny, and I appreciate everyone that's tuned in tonight as well, just to say g'day. And yeah, look, please, shoot me a message. Let me know what you think of the new song when you get it, guys. Yeah. I'd love to get your feedback.
Absolutely, I can't wait for everyone to hear it. I know already that they're going to love it. So good luck tomorrow. I know you're going to be very successful in the charting. I already know that. You've done so well. So thank you very much.
Out into the world.
That's right. So 3:00, Beck will be messaging now. What time is she allowed to message you tomorrow, Benny, with the chart position?
It doesn't matter. On release night, I tend to go the other way, where I can't fall asleep until sort of after midnight. Normally, I go to sleep early, but no, I've got a feeling I'll be staring at the ceiling until the charts come out. So. Yeah, you sit there and you tell yourself it's not that important. It's not that important, but man, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. Well, guys, jump up to the top of the cage and click on the link. And thank you so much for joining. I'll be back next week with I'm just going to turn the page, but I'm pretty sure it's Luke O'Shea next week. Yep, Beck's nodding. So we've got Luke O'Shea joining us next Thursday, and there might be a couple of pop-up shows in between with some different things that we might have coming up, just depending on everybody's availability. But thank you for joining, and thank you again, Benny. We always love having you on the show.
And vice versa, Danny. Thanks for having me. See you, mate.